So the fittings literally just broke off the pipe lock. Right, I've been called out to a smell of gas. Cadence already been out and capped the meter off. But what we've got, this shouldn't even really be here, to be honest with you, done like this, because these iron, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you can't bury iron on the outside like that. And certainly you can't have compression joint under the floor. They say it's leaking on here, but what I'm going to do is my own checks. We'll do a drop test on the meter, but I'm sure the customer phoned up for a smell of gas. So we'll do our own checks, we'll get our sniffer out and see if we can identify where it's leaking. But we're going to have to replace this anyway. I'm not even sure if I've got room to twist this off, because the incoming gas is right there. That's going to be some fun and games, to be honest with you. Obviously we can join back onto this copper, in theory, twist that up and then bring it across. But it's not going to be easy. It's whether we can get that off, because obviously that's the incoming main service. We'll have a look. Yeah, so Cadence been out, isolated the ECV. Obviously one of these will have a disc in as well, so we'll whip that disc out, do our own drop test, and hopefully it's not on there, but I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be. He's put that it's in the outlet, so I'm assuming it's in there. What I'll do is just whip that disc out and do my own drop test. So I've bonded across just in case I do break the continuity across the meter. But when I come to change that pipe, there's no way I'm going to be able to bond that, because obviously I can't get back across. So you can only work safely. You can use them like red pens to see if it's electrically conductive. Obviously that's not a really safe way, but it's kind of something you can do. I've just put a quick tightness test on the installation. It's dropped about 1 millibar in the first 30 seconds. But obviously because there's a smell of gas been reported, obviously we're allowed 0 drop. I'm going to get my sniffer and just see if it is leaking on that joint. They believed it was. You see it's dropped another 0.5 millibar. So it's definitely got a drop on the installation, but obviously because there's a smell of gas, you're not allowed any drop anyway. They say it's a new boiler, a new combi in the airing cupboard upstairs. I'm not too sure if there's any other gas appliances. I think they've had an old gas fire capped off. I've not actually been into the property yet, and there might even be a hob. So obviously we'll do our safety checks and stuff like that, but it might well be leaking on that. So it's dropped roughly 4 millibar in 2 minutes. So we're just going to get the sniffer and see if we can identify the gas escape. It doesn't actually seem to be picking anything up there. Cheers. Stick it right in there, Jacob, which is a little bit worrying. Obviously we'll have to go into the property and try and there we go, it is leaking on there. So we've definitely got a gas escape on that joint there, so we're going to have to try. I don't know if you can hear the sniffer. So yeah, we're going to have to try and do something with that. I'm not too sure what, but yeah, we'll get it sorted. Right, the gas is turned off anyway. That was just on from the tightness test. So that was just that tiny bit of gas we just put in. So these devices are really sensitive. So we'll just purge that and we'll get that sorted. So this whole pipe is posh rotten. I've just literally pushed a hole in it with my screwdriver. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is knackered. The whole pipe's got a hole in it now. So we're in a little bit of trouble, to be honest with you, because we can't get back onto that. No way. Not a cat in hell are we going to be able to get back onto that pipe. The gas is turned off, mate, so you won't get anything on there.
No residual?
Yeah, there's a bit of residual, but that pipe's rotten. That ain't good. Right, I've just been in and had a word with the tenant. The other side of this is the lounge. It's all laminate floor and I don't even know if I can get it up intact, to be honest with you. And the trouble is the boiler's right in the middle of the house upstairs. So it's not even very easy to reroute, if I'm honest. I mean, we can't obviously leave that. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I've just spoken to the landlord on the phone. He might pop down and have a look, because obviously I don't want to do something without authorisation. What I'm having to do, because this laminate is dead tight, I'm just cutting down the slots. I've already spoken to the landlord and he says go ahead, whatever you need to do. The trouble is it's all underneath the skirtings. Without taking all the skirtings off, I'm going to struggle. Obviously I don't want to do damage, but you've got to do what you've got to do sometimes. I can't see any other way than going to get it up. It's kind of in the corner anyway. There's a unit that goes here, so the gas pipe is roughly here. Because the regulation says it should run dead straight. In theory it could run that way and then across the corner, but should really be dead straight. So I've just cut down that side and the boards should just flick out then. They'll be on like tongue and groove. I mean, broken the end just where it was on the skirting. Hopefully we should be able to put that back without too much damage. So I've lifted the laminate as carefully as I can. I just basically cut around the edges. You can only do what you got to do. So in theory our gas pipe should be 700mm from that corner because it's a metre. The outside wall will be about 300. So we're going to chop, should have a minimum of 25mm screed on top according to the regulation from memory. I'm only working off memory, I can't remember everything. So it shouldn't be in the subfloor, so it should only be in the screed. So if we chop here somewhere, we should find it. Right, we just started chopping. The pipe should be here, but we just had a quick measure off the windowsill, and that pipe appears to be at least another 200mm down. So they've like laid it in the foundation, not the foundations, but in the proper subfloor. I don't know, because obviously there's no screed. These are probably just power float. They're not even that old, these houses. Shouldn't have even been done like that. I don't know what possesses people, because obviously, I don't know. We'll just have to keep chopping and see if we can find it. But it's going to end up with a massive amount of floor out. I just don't know what we're going to do with it really, because it shouldn't. I'd have to double check the regs, but I'm pretty sure you should even have them in the subfloor like that. This job's turning into a nightmare. I think the gas pipe is there. It's massively below the DPC on the outside. We've chopped through all that concrete that's hollow there into the insulation. I think the gas pipe's about there. I'm just going to bring up the regulations on my phone and find out. I don't think that's even correct the way it's been done. I'll probably chop some more of this out, see if we can find it. But I've got to obviously thread onto that as well. And then I'll probably bring it up and then through. But it should never have been, certainly shouldn't have been below the insulation. I don't know if you can see the pipe, but it is just there. They've laid some sort of foam over the top of it. Obviously that's the polystyrene insulation, but look how deep it is. They've obviously laid sand and foam over it. But in order to get threader on, we're going to have to chop most of this out because there's no way I can get threader in there. Obviously I'll have to cut it, thread it, bring it up and then through. So we've got the pipe all dug out. It's actually not in too bad a condition inside, so we're going to try and cut it. I'll probably use the recip saw, thread it, and then I tried to go and get some iron pipe, but they don't have any anywhere in town. So we'll have to use end feed fitting on there and get back up. You just can't use compression or press under the floor, so we're fine to solder it. And probably what we'll do is bring it up and then through. There's not too much else we can do with it. Right, I've just got that cut off. It's safer than using the angle grinder with a recip because it doesn't make any sparks. So we're going to try and cut the copper on the outside, pull that out. We've got to try and get the threader in here. I might have to cut this back a little bit more yet because it's not going to be easy to get the threader in, to be honest with you. Let me just show you the outside. My mate's just going to cut it on the copper and then we're going to try and pull it all out in one piece then. So it should pull back through its sleeve. That's the only thing with them Milwaukees, sometimes they get a little bit caught. So hopefully you should be able to wiggle that out, Jacob.
Have you cut?
Yeah, it's cut. Give it a wiggle. There you go. We'll see what bodge they've made. Yeah, that will come out in a second. So the fittings literally just broke off the pipe lock. Not the best, to be honest with you. I'm surprised if that's not been leaking for a while, if I'm honest. But we're going to bring it out higher up. I'm just not too sure how we're going to make it look good on the inside, but safety comes before what it looks aesthetics, I think. So we'll get the rest of that sleeve out and yeah, get it sorted. This is my Rems electric threader. It's just got all the jaws. At the minute it's got 2 inch. It goes up to 2 inch to be fair. So 1.25 inch, 3/4, which is the one we need, 1/2 inch and 1.5 inch. So it does all the sizes. So it's just a case of taking the jaw out. I think the inside bit, we have to take that one off the 1/2 inch because that's like the inset bit to reduce you on the size. And then hopefully we can get that threader in, get it threaded and get the gas back on then. So you just got to try and get that circlip out on these. And then the other jaw presses out then. It's probably not been out in a while. and then just got to get that one off the 1/2 inch, and that bit goes inside. Obviously, I know we've got the 1/2 inch one in there, but it will take the 3/4, and then the clip goes back on, and that's all set up then. Right, we'd have to try and hand thread this because I can't get the jaws in of the threader. It's a pain. It's just always awkward when you're working in a tiny little hole. I know I could chop more out, but where do you stop? It's really hard as well, so we'll get it threaded and we'll get it sorted. Right, I've got it started on my threader, so it's just a case of turning that. I'll probably have to get the steel sons on it in a second. Turning that until we go, what we need to be a good 25-30mm thread. So yeah, just have to work that. It's obviously awkward because I can't really turn the grips or the steel sons on it, but the worst bit is getting it started, to be fair. You can use some like thread lubricant, it does make it a little bit easier. But yeah, we're getting there. Right, I've chopped a bit more of the floor out, so hopefully I can get the threader in now. I was really struggling to thread it by hand. It is always awkward, obviously. The trouble is I don't know where the joint is, if there is even a joint, because it's like, could be all the way across the staircase, because these pipes can be 6.5 metre lengths. So it could be that they put one piece in all the way across. So you just don't know where it goes. Obviously there's a hob right on the other side of the house, all the way over there, and then the boiler's in the middle. So it possibly goes up that boxing or something, but you're never sure. That's the thing. I decided to chop some more out just so I can get the jaws in properly. So it should just be a case of threading it now, and that's the hard bit done. Then we can join back onto it and get it replaced. But that's just hard work. Right, we're hoping the pipe's not going to turn in the ground on us. I've got my mate holding against, but when it grabs, it's got a tendency to sort of turn the pipe, if you know. So yeah, it's always better to try and hold against stuff. It's never easy. But I'll get some lubricant on the thread, and it's just a case of pressing the trigger and then seeing it to come to the end of your jaws. But yeah, tricky one. Obviously when you release it, you got to watch your fingers because it will trap. Obviously when it breaks all the swarf off, the machine will sometimes grab a little bit. That's it all threaded. What we use Loctite 55 on there, and then we're going to use, I wanted to do it all in black iron, but literally nobody's got any black iron in town, and I can't get any for a couple of days. So we're going to use a 3/4 female iron to soldered, and then come up, and then we've already drilled a new sleeve. That's above the DPC now on the outside. I'll show you on the outside, but yeah, that's the hard bit done really. So that'll thread onto there. Obviously I've got to put some stuff on it yet, and as I say, I'd prefer to do it all back in black, but I just haven't got the bits, and you know, you literally can only do what you can do. What we'll probably do is, obviously if we have to duct this, we'll probably have to vent it as well. So as I say, I'll get the pipe repaired, and then we'll look at what we're going to do to make it good. Obviously we brought it a lot higher, so the water in theory is above the DPC now, so it shouldn't be running through the wall. Obviously that old hole there will need filling, so no water can get through, and all this DPC will need making good. Well, we're punctured, but it is what it is. So all we're going to do on this is use a couple of elbows straight back in. Obviously we're well above the ground now. Obviously we did bond before we took the meter out, but we can't really bond where we took the section of pipe out. It kind of is what it is. You can only sort of do your best to work safely. So yeah, we'll get that soldered in, and yeah, hopefully there's no more leaks on the gas. Should be fine. Yeah, that'll be perfect. We'll just clean that excess Loctite off, and we'll solder straight into there then and get that piece made in. All I'm going to do is use a couple of elbows. I haven't got room for a set in there. I know it's adding extra distance on the pipe, but in theory it's slightly shorter anyway, but you can only do what you can do. Obviously we'll check working pressures and stuff like that at the boiler, but it should be okay. That little bit won't make too much difference. My sleeve in does come all the way through. It's just there, so it's all in one piece, straight through the wall. So we've done it best we can. Obviously, there's an argument to say the pipe's not in the best position, but it's how it is, and all we've done is repaired the pipe. Obviously, the only other thing you can do is literally reroute it all, but all the houses on this estate are done like that. But as I say, it is what it is. You can only do your best on a job. So this is just on the outside. We've put a clip on there just to try and tidy the job up a little bit because it won't clip before. My mate did the soldering. He's only the apprentice. It's not too bad. So yeah, as I say, it sleeves all the way through. There's an argument to say you shouldn't put your soldered elbows in the wall, so I always keep them slightly off a little bit. I know it makes it not look as nice. I think technically you can, but I always don't, because in theory you should be able to spray that with LDF. So yeah, should be fine. We'll just get the inside bit done and job done. I'm just doing my tightness test. I've already done my let by. What we're going to do is just leave this a few minutes, and we're going to have 0 drop on this hopefully. Obviously, because it's been a smell of gas reported, you're not allowed any drop anyway. So hopefully it's looking better already, to be fair. Hopefully that doesn't move. But I'll get packed up and we'll check that again in a minute or so. I appreciate you guys all watching again this week. It really does mean a lot. That job was quite a challenging one, really. What you think is going to be quite an easy job for just a gas leak turned into a bit of a nightmare. Sometimes you don't know what to do for the best, because it could have been an option to replace all the pipe work, run up the outside of the house and then drop back down for the hob. But you're probably looking at more cost, obviously, and then I don't know. Sometimes the job kind of sucks you in, if that makes sense. But we've done our best. At the end of the day, the repair is all sound now. There's no gas leaks or anything like that. I've just got to go back and make the floor good. I just wanted to double check with all the regs as to what's going to be the best policy for making the floor good. Obviously, I know I'll have to protect my pipe with double overlap. It's not Denzotech. There is a special name for it, but I don't think they use the word Denso in the gas regs. But anyway, I've just got to do all that, but just kind of ran out of time. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I've just actually been to look at a couple of big jobs. I've just been mentally busy this week. There's so much more I could film, but I just don't have time. I've just done a couple of boiler swaps. I've done loads of stuff this week. It's probably been one of the busiest weeks that I've ever had. So yeah, as I say, thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button, and I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you all for watching.